First of all, thank everybody for coming out. As everybody knows, sometimes with success comes responsibilities, and with the success of the USL going to Division II, it's caused us to make some changes on a couple different fronts. We all know we're going to have to add some seats to the stadium to get into compliance, and also it's caused us to make a coaching change. First of all, I want to thank Dave Grant for all he's done. I feel like he's put the club in a better spot. He knows he's put it in a better spot. I respect Dave a lot, but this all comes down to a licensing issue. It's just we are not in compliance with. Like I said earlier, responsibility. We have a responsibility on the Division II to be in compliance. So that is, with that comes the excitement of introducing our new head coach, Mr. Bob Lilley from Rochester.
Thanks, Tuffy. Excited to be here. Thanks to all of you for showing up. Looking forward to get started here in Pittsburgh. It's a dynamic city. I was here in 1994 as a player for the old Pittsburgh Stingers, which was in the Continental Indoor Soccer League. Paul Child was my coach, so some of you will know that name. I think one of the things exciting for me is how dynamic the league has become over the last 3 years. The growth of USL. The MLS teams that have come on, the second teams, the cities are evolving yearly. New franchises, it's growing, it's very healthy. And the fact that I've been in the league a long time and see Pittsburgh growing over these past few years, I think the last 3 years, how much this club has moved forward, and that's through Tuffy's investment and obviously reaching out into the corporate community. The fan base has grown. The youth development side is very impressive. There's a lot of things to get excited about. We've had some really successful teams in Rochester, but it's been a tough go of it there on the business side, and to see, I think it takes both sides to ultimately be successful. There's got to be growth on both sides. Similar to my teams, I try to get, everyone says, you're great defensive coach, and I'm like, well, when we're winning, we're getting goals and we're defending well. You got to get it right at both ends, and you got to make sure you continue to move forward, because the league's always going to get better. So I'm looking forward to working with the staff. Ultimately, we want to build a consistent winner here. It's in the playoffs every year, and ultimately wins a championship. The history of Pittsburgh sports, I did mention I was here in 94. First home game was in the Igloo with all the sponsors. I don't know the names of every arena now, but Franco Harris kicked out the first ball. So, I do have a tie-in. I'm a Pennsylvania kid in a lot of ways. So, I'm excited to be here and part of this project, to work with the staff. I've met a number of them today, and many of them, Jason Cutney and I, John Roth, some of these guys I've gotten to know through the years, and I know they're good at what they do, and it's a great opportunity for my career. I look forward to working with all of you, and hopefully we're going to get it right on both ends, the business side and on the field side. One final thing I did want to say in regards to Dave Brandt. I feel fortunate. Tricky situation for him, but I know Dave's got some good players he's brought in here, and I know the team side is in a good position to move forward. Obviously, there will be some changes, but he's left me in a good spot to kind of come in and hopefully continue to build on what he started and have success pretty quickly. So, that's the goal, and I think Tuffy's brought some good people in here, and I hope I am someone that will be able to deliver for him as some others have, and will have success moving forward. Thanks.
All right, guys, we'll open up for a couple of questions here. Just be sure to let the person know who you're asking.
Yeah, Bob, obviously, just a few weeks ago, I think we were down there talking, interviewing you, and you were kind of giving me a little bit of assessment of where this organization is. In terms of, you just spoke about talent, some players, how much player evaluation have you had? How much time have you had to really dive into that, or where are you at this point?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, November 30th, all the options, we have to make decisions on players. I have a good idea on the roster. I mean, we played Pittsburgh, and also, I've had some, Dave's been incredibly helpful the last few days. I mean, this has transpired since last Wednesday, Thursday. We started to talk. We finalized some things over the weekend. It's happened quickly, so I've tried to get as much information as I could, and I expect it to move quickly because of the players. We need to focus on them and make the decisions on them. But I still have some more conversations I have to have. We do have a player combine on Thursday and Friday with players that we're scheduled to come in that we're gonna evaluate and start the process. We have to have a bar. Obviously, there's a number of resources internally with coaches, but also some people on the staff that once I sit down, I'll have a better picture. And I would expect us to be giving you guys a clear picture on what players are staying. Certainly, it has to be by November 30th. You'll have a good idea and look, there's talent, so we will certainly move forward with a number of the guys, and there's going to be some difficult decisions we're going to have to make to reshape certain components on the team. But I think you guys will see that I'm not here to burn down the house. I'm here to add on to what some of the positives that have already been put in place.
Do you have coaching staff set up yet, or are you still in discussion?
No, I mean, I have a number of guys that have played for me that have moved on the coaching ranks, and last year I had a great partnership with Mark Pulisic in Rochester. He's fortunate to have a son that is doing pretty well, and he likes his flexibility. He's over, and he leaves for Germany tomorrow, and he's a possibility, but I won't know from him for a while because he's looking at a number of different things. But we're certainly going to have other people involved with the staff, and I want to talk to the existing people in place because I know Dave has confidence in those guys. I want to work with those guys, get a feel for everyone. And, if we have people here that can do the job for us, then, I'm inclined to not disrupt everything and start over. But that's going to take a little bit of time, before we make those final decisions, what we're doing going forward.
Coach, your system's obviously had a lot of success. At the same time, any market that you go into where you got to sell the sport and everything is going to require offense and excitement.
Right.
The best success that the Riverhounds have ever had here have been with, as you know, really good offensive teams.
Right. Yep.
Whoever else. How will your style fit here?
Well, I mean, I've had leading scorers in the league MVPs, so I've been around for a while. 97 I started, and going to Montreal or Vancouver had different player personnel, and we won in different ways. And, you know, even this year, you could have seen us be really tight here, but if you go watch the first half of the Louisville playoff game, the team that won it last night, I encourage you to go on YouTube and watch the first half. Rochester and Louisville play Louisville off the park, and they were struggling to get over midfield. So, you know, we're going to get in people's faces. We're going to compete, you know, but I like to build flexibility in my team's versatility into players, and I like to adapt to what we can do best and be able to change tactics depending on opponents. So for me, I enjoy that in the game, and I think as our teams get better, it's a lot of my teams later in the season, as they get tactically sharper and we know exactly how we play the best and all the things we can do, we tend to become very dangerous come late, you know, the big games late in the season and the playoffs. We'll look like a different team sometimes.
It kind of felt like something that John and I talked about. The last time that you were in here,
We were polished at that point, yeah.
it felt
Took us a while, a lot of young guys.
tactical change. I guess that's what I'm asking. More that your guys were more comfortable being more aggressive.
No, yeah, I mean, listen, that we had worked to that point all year, you know, and I couldn't have been prouder how we finished the season and how positive and aggressive we were first round against Charlotte. I mean, it's no secret. We won a championship a couple of years ago and lost a lot of players, only had 2 back from that, and lost Dos Santos and Valesky, 2 pretty good forwards last year. So we were short on weapons, but we were proactive and always trying to attack, always trying to press. We knew we weren't going to score as much this year, so we knew we had to be pretty stingy defensively. But we always tried to get them playing on the front foot. And I'm not, even though we defend well, I'm not a coach that likes to sit and counter. I want the ball. So for us, defending means go get the ball, because we ain't scoring. We're not going to score till we get the ball. So to me, it's always get on top of the ball, get in people's faces, and we dictate. We play the game on our terms. So hopefully that's what you're going to see. And I think that's a Pittsburgh feel, you know, to be gritty, to be tough. And I think that's hopefully what we're going to bring to the table, game in and game out. Yes.
Listen, I'm familiar with your teams in the past, and we're glad to have you here. What made you choose Pittsburgh?
Well, I mean, listen, my mom's in Carlisle. That helps, you know. But I think seeing, you know, when they're youth, we lack that in some ways in Rochester, the youth development model that you know, Jason and a bunch of those guys have done tremendous in growing that. You know, the new fields that Tuffy's putting in for that academy, the corporate sponsorships coming on board. It's a different Pittsburgh than, you know, 7, 8 years ago. Maybe I wouldn't be as quick. Now I think this club is poised to really jump to the next level, you know, and I think hopefully helping get us a little bit further along on the winning side will help propel that even more, because I think it's a great market, it's a great city. I spent a year here, you know, and I've been in Pittsburgh plenty of times. So to me, I mean, I've been all over, but I'm excited about this challenge, this project, because I want to experience the city. And I was here in a year, and 94 was, it seems like a long time ago, you know, and I was only here for a short period. Continental Inter Soccer League, maybe I was here for 4 months. It was kind of like a summer league. Did any of you cover that? Does anyone even know what I'm talking about? Remember that? Okay, so I'll stop talking about it. But you know, it's just a great opportunity. I mean, obviously there's you know, some things going on in Rochester, and, you know, the owners there gave me permission to speak with Pittsburgh, and I know Dave and Wendy Jorkin are good friends with Tuffy, and at a certain point, Tuffy asked them for permission to speak to me, and we were able to make something happen. And I feel incredibly fortunate to land here in Pittsburgh and have this opportunity.
Tuffy, obviously, what drew you to make this move and this decision?
Well, like I said, you know, we had to get into compliance, and you know, naturally, first person come to mind was Bob, and knowing, being friends with Rochester, the ownership, Dave and Wendy up there, and I think they probably have a press conference going at the same time here, but that, you know, knowing that they were in the position they were teetering on whether Bob's option was going to be, you know, they were going to exercise his option. It just, you know, it was just, he was my first choice. I mean, it's, heck, can't beat him higher, right?
A lot of pressure. I like it, but I mean, it's expectations. And look, there's been a lot of good players through Pittsburgh, good coaches, good people involved, and it's sometimes just little things that can get you over the edge. And you know, we just have to marshal all of our resources and really focus on where we want to be as a club, on the field, off the field, pay attention to all the details. And, you know, I think you had a pretty good team out there last year, and I think there were some points in the season that myself, Dave Brand, any coach will tell you it's an inch here, it's an inch there, it's a post, it's, you know, and they're little games that can change a season. And because of what's transpired in the league, Pittsburgh had to make the decision, are we going to step up and really develop this youth side and be aggressive and add seats to the stadium, and you know, are we going to move forward? And Tuffy's given us this opportunity, you know, to do that as a club. And so now it's our responsibility to, you know, make sure that we're doing the best in all aspects, because it all has to work together. I mean, successful franchises are, they're able to get it done in all areas, and, you know, and we just need to be more consistent on the playing side at this point, and I think it's very doable. It will take a lot more than me. It will take consistency from the players and having a good staff and getting on the same page with everyone in the office. But you know, I've gone to a number of places and been able to help with that, and I enjoy you know, helping clubs get on their feet and moving. Like I said, Dave's teed it up in a lot of ways, you know, and even now having the conversations with him, I think helps. And, you know, even, you know, to come into an environment where I know some of the people already, that helps as well. You know, so it was a lot scarier when I was a young coach going up to Montreal trying to figure out what I was going to do. I didn't even speak French. I mean, but that was a lot different challenge, you know. So this one I feel ready for, and like I said, it's an exciting opportunity for me.
Have time for one more question?
Maybe just the fact that you handle at this level, the USL, be able to be a general man, like handle personnel decisions as well as coaching on the field. What's your approach? Obviously, you're going to be put in
Yeah.
that responsibility on your shoulders as well. So just bringing players in and also making sure, coaching.
Which
as well.
he's used to.
Sorry.
Which he's used to.
Yeah.
That's how he likes to handle things.
Yeah, listen, I think there's probably some good resources, in terms of the player market and agents and those things. I know coaches here have relationships. We'll find players in all areas. I think Jason Cutney's someone that I'll be able to work with, and he's got a lot on his hands on the youth side, so that's his primary focus. But the reality is people that know what they're doing and are good at their job. I like when we come in here and I'm the visiting team and there may be something going on with something at the stadium or whatever, and John Rotz is able to point me and steer me in the right way. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think in some regards that's what it's about. It's tough. You do the press conference, it's happened so quickly. This isn't something we've been stewing up for a couple of weeks, or I still have to do a lot more homework from my point, even on the players, even though I could probably tell you more about all your players than you think I could. There's still more I want to look at. So I think I will have, the task of bringing players, procuring that, securing that, and obviously coaching it. But I'm someone that will be able to tap into guys when they have, valuable information. I'm not too proud. You get me a good player that's going to help me win, I'm pretty happy about that. So, we'll work through those things, and I think it'll become a little bit more clear for you guys for sure as we move forward. Great. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot for coming out.